Did he do it, right? I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day?
I'm just not with all that 50 shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing.
From the opening question, the atmosphere is heavy. When asked directly whether Diddy did it, 50 Cent doesn't hesitate, doesn't soften his words, and doesn't leave room for interpretation. He says yes, and then goes further, reminding everyone that he's been vocal about this long before courtrooms, indictments, or media frenzy made it mainstream. What gives this moment its weight isn't just the accusation, but the separation. 50 makes it clear he was never part of that world. He didn't attend the parties. He didn't play along. And in doing so, he points a finger not just at Diddy, but at the silence surrounding him. According to 50, that silence isn't accidental. It exists because too many people were present, involved, or compromised. This opening reframes the entire narrative. The question isn't why people are speaking now, it's why they stayed quiet for so long.
On Diddy Combs and 50 Cent. These two go back a long time. They have been rivals for a long time. And this week we learned that, at least from Diddy's side of things, this feud apparently went far beyond words. 50 Cent's name came up during the testimony this week of Capricorn Clark. She is a former assistant of Sean Combs who went on to become the head of marketing for his Sean John clothing brand. Clark rose successfully and professionally through the ranks of Diddy's world during her time working for him, which stretched between 2004 to 2018, so she saw a lot. Clark claimed that Diddy would threaten her, and she says he even kidnapped her in 2011. All of this matters as we build up to how 50 Cent kind of factors into what she said on the stand. Now, Capricorn Clark started working for Bad Boy after she worked for Death Row Records. Now, that's surprising, since Death Row was ran by perhaps Diddy's most hated enemy, Suge Knight. Clark said that one of her good friends had a baby with Suge Knight, and that's how she knew him. And in perhaps the most shocking story from her testimony, Clark claimed that shortly after she started working for Diddy, Diddy and his security guards took her to Central Park after dark, and Diddy said, quote, "He told me he didn't know that I had anything to do with Suge Knight, and if anything happened, he would have to kill me." It is an allegation that paints Combs as someone who is ready to take a life. But as Capricorn Clark's testimony continued, she brought up another rival of Sean Diddy Combs and another allegation that he made an ominous threat of violence. Clark testified, when working for Diddy, they went to a press event at MTV and 50 Cent was there. And just wait until you hear what she says Diddy told 50's manager. 50 Cent's real name is Curtis Jackson. He rose to fame in the early 2000s. You might remember songs like In the Club. You might remember that he was the leader of the rap group G-Unit. Now, 50 grew up in Jamaica, Queens, New York. Diddy, also a New York native. He was born in Harlem, grew up in Mount Vernon, New York, just about 20 miles away. And even though they both had success in music, they both rose to fame representing the city of New York and the rap scene there, they have been longtime rivals. In 2006, 50 Cent released a diss track about Diddy. So almost 20 years ago, this goes back a long way. And in that diss track, he says, quote, "Who shot Biggie Smalls? We don't get 'em. They gon' kill us all. Man, Puffy know who hit that expletive. Man, that expletive soft." Now, 50 is accusing Combs there of knowing who killed his friend, the notorious B.I.G. Christopher Wallace. Wallace and Puffy were incredibly close, but Wallace was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles in 1997, and no one has ever been charged for pulling the trigger. This all happened during really the height of the East Coast-West Coast rap rivalry of the 90s, which involved Suge Knight, who we mentioned earlier. 50 Cent has also accused Diddy of orchestrating the murder of death row rapper Tupac Shakur, who died in 1996 in a Las Vegas drive-by shooting. This is Dwayne Keefe D. Davis. He was arrested in September 2023, and he is the only person facing charges related to Tupac's murder. But 50 Cent has continued to push the allegation that Sean Combs either knows something or did something for Tupac to end up dead, though Diddy has denied that. But in a 2023 Instagram post, 50 wrote, "Damn, so Pac got lined by brother love, LOL, time to lawyer up, expletive."
Once the courtroom chaos settles, 50 Cent steps forward not as a spectator, but as a longtime rival with history on his side. This feud isn't sudden, and it isn't manufactured. It stretches back nearly 2 decades, rooted in competition, ego, and power within hip-hop's highest ranks. Diss tracks from the mid-2000s resurface, including lyrics that openly question Diddy's connection to the deaths of Biggie Smalls and Tupac Shakur. These weren't subtle jabs, they were direct challenges that shook the industry at the time. As the years passed, the tension never disappeared, it simply went dormant. This clip establishes that the current moment isn't revenge or opportunism. It's the resurfacing of unresolved accusations that were never fully addressed, now colliding with legal scrutiny and public reckoning.
Sticky with a pic of Suge Knight in a car with Tupac. Diddy, who has a lot of names, Puff Daddy, Puffy, Puff, and Brother Love is one of those other names. Now, from Diddy's side of things, again, he's denied having anything to do with Tupac's murder, and he's also denied having anything to do with Christopher Wallace's death, and he's denied publicly having issues with 50 Cent. Here's what Combs said when he was asked about a beef with 50 in a 2018 interview with the radio show The Breakfast Club, Power 105.1 FM.
Hey, yo, I don't have no beef with
I don't know why.
With Fifth. He loves me. He loves me.
Do y'all really
can't
have
see
a
it?
beef?
I mean, y'all can't see it.
No, we can't see it.
Y'all can't see
man.
that he loves me?
But see,
you really think that's hate?
If you look at 50's social media, you can see he has a lot of posts about Diddy. And this is what he posted the day that federal agents in Miami raided Combs' mansion ahead of his arrest on the charges that he's now on trial for. 50 Cent posted on X, "Now it's not Diddy do it, it's Diddy done. They don't come like that unless they got a case." 50 Cent also included a link to his G-Unit clothing brand in that post. While Diddy in the Breakfast Club clip said that 50 Cent actually loves him and there was never a beef, on the stand this week, Capricorn Clark said otherwise. Clark said that she was at this press event at MTV with Diddy and 50 Cent was also there, all of this happening in New York. Clark said, quote, "After the interview wrapped up, myself, Puff, and Chris Lighty got in the elevator." Clark said that Lighty was an entertainment manager who, on paper, was managing Diddy at the time, but was also 50 Cent's manager at the time. Prosecutors asked Clark what happened in the elevator, and she said, quote, "Puff told Chris, because they were having some sort of issue, like, I really don't like all the back and forth. I don't do that. I like guns." The prosecutor then asked, "What's the issue with an individual?" And Clark responded, he had an issue with 50 Cent. She said Combs was very serious when he said that. In this case, it has become common to hear testimony from witnesses about alleged threats by Diddy. In fact, several witnesses have said that Diddy regularly threatened to fire people, to beat people, like his former girlfriend Cassie Ventura, and in this case, making a threat involving firearms to settle a dispute per the testimony of someone who was one of his closest associates for more than a decade. Invoking gun violence and some sort of veiled threat, that could be scary for some, but apparently not 50 Cent. On Instagram, 50 posted right after his name came up in the courtroom, quote, cut, wait a minute. Puffy's got a gun? I can't believe this. I don't feel safe, with a picture that looked like an AI image of 50 Cent on a movie set looking serious. And he wasn't done. Shortly after that, he posted another AI image on Instagram of him in a Yankees hat with a very scared look on his face with the caption, "Oh my goodness, itty bitty Diddy wants me dead. I have to lay low." Sad face emoji. "I think I'm gonna hide out at the playoff game tonight, LOL. Then the next day he posted what he did that night. He went to the NBA playoff game between the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers in Indiana. And you can see him here in a picture on the floor in a shirt that reads, quote, "Free Diddy," playing into the trolling that 50 Cent has done to Sean Combs over the years, even before Combs was ever accused of what he is on trial for. Now, Combs' trial is expected to last another month at least. He's charged with racketeering, sex trafficking by force, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He has pleaded not guilty. Join us now to talk more about the trial of Sean Diddy Combs and everything that's going on inside the courtroom is Afi Patterson, civil and criminal.
The narrative takes a decisive turn when Capricorn Clark enters the picture. Unlike anonymous sources or distant commentators, Clark speaks as someone who spent over a decade inside Diddy's inner circle, rising from assistant to head of marketing for Sean John. Her proximity matters. Her timeline matters. And what she describes is deeply unsettling. She alleges repeated threats, emotional intimidation, and even a kidnapping in 2011. One of the most disturbing moments comes when she recounts being taken to Central Park at night and warned that if anything went wrong, she could be killed. This testimony strips away the celebrity image and replaces it with fear and control. For the audience, this is the moment where allegations stop feeling abstract. They become personal, detailed, and impossible to ignore.
Reference Diddy's infamous parties as seemingly the scene of a number of the allegations he now faces, including sex trafficking, forced drugging, and compromising footage of celebrities that have been held as blackmail. Stevie J seemingly responded with a post to Instagram with the caption, "This is what a real Diddy party looks like." The video showed a number of famous faces, including Jay-Z and Beyonce, Kim Kardashian, her then-husband Kanye West, Naomi Campbell, and several others who were all together to celebrate Diddy's 50th birthday in 2019. Fast forward to 2024, 50 was asked why there have been so many silent voices when it comes to celebs speaking out about Diddy, as if they're afraid to speak up. 50 replied in part, "Some of them were involved at the parties and enjoyed themselves, so they don't know what the F is on the tape or what's not on the tape, so they're not going to say anything because they might have had too much fun." And then you've got other people who look at it and go, "Well, that's not my business and I don't want to be in it." Then you got a part of our culture that says that's snitching or dry snitching. It's uncomfortable for me to say what I said because I've been saying this stuff for 4 or 5 years. Everybody else is not going to be as comfortable as I'm saying it. 50 Cent then alleged there's one famous friend that is aware of Diddy's alleged disturbing behavior. R&B legend Mary J. Blige, who got her start at Diddy's Bad Boy Records, has been a longtime friend of the embattled rapper and producer. But she reportedly has a great relationship with 50 Cent as well. When asked if Mary J. Blige reached out to 50, he responded, no. You know what? Mary never reached out to tell me not to F up Puffy because she knows he does that stuff. As Diddy and 50 Cent have long been in the rap game, they share another commonality, and that's 50 Cent's ex-girlfriend and the mother of his youngest son, Daphne Joy Navarez. The actress and OnlyFans model was named in Rodney Jones' suit against Diddy as she was referenced to as an alleged sex worker of Diddy's that also gets paid a monthly stipend. She has denied those allegations in a post made to social media, writing, "I am deeply hurt by the lies in Rodney Jones' lawsuit. The claim that I'm a sex worker is 100% false and character assassination. I am retaining an attorney to explore all legal remedies against both Rodney and his attorney." 50 Cent seemingly poked fun at the allegation of the mother of his son being an alleged sex worker. In a post made to his social media page, 50 wrote a caption, "I didn't know you was a sex worker, you little sex worker, LOL." But this would prompt Daphne Joy to respond to her ex again on social media, but this time would accuse 50 directly of rape and being abusive during their relationship. She would write in part, "Everything is a joke to you until our safety is compromised, which is happening now. You are wreaking real havoc, frenzy, and chaos onto people's lives. How would you feel if Sire was the one in handcuffs for nothing? Let's put the real focus on your true evil actions of raping me and physically abusing me. You are no longer my oppressor, and my God will handle you from this point on. You have permanently damaged the last hope I had for you as a father to preserve our family with these last and final false claims made against me. You have broken our hearts for the last and final time." Those allegations against 50 Cent would prompt him to fire back against his ex Daphne Joy and sue her for defamation. In his suit, 50 Cent said those allegations were unequivocally false and would claim she made the shocking allegations in retaliation after he moved to take sole custody of their son. Since that suit, Daphne has deleted her Instagram post accusing 50 of rape and physical abuse. 50 Cent was asked by The Hollywood Reporter the latest in the defamation suit. The rapper and television producer said he tiptoes around the Daphne stuff.
As Clark's testimony continues, the spotlight swings directly onto 50 Cent. She recalls a press event at MTV where Diddy, 50, and their shared manager were all present. What followed, according to Clark, happened behind closed doors, in an elevator, away from cameras. She claims Diddy expressed frustration with the back and forth and made a chilling remark, "I like guns." Prosecutors lean into this moment because it aligns with a broader pattern described by multiple witnesses, threats used as leverage. The implication is clear, this wasn't bravado, it was intimidation. Meanwhile, 50 responds in the most 50 Cent way possible, mockery. He posts AI images, jokes about hiding, and wears a free Diddy shirt courtside, turning alleged danger into satire. The contrast between sworn testimony and public trolling creates tension that lingers long after the clip ends.
News reporters present when the New York jury announced its determination July 2nd. Combs, who pleaded not guilty to all charges, was convicted of prostitution-related offenses, but acquitted of the sex trafficking and racketeering charges in his case. After his verdict was announced, stars who have been connected to Combs over the years spoke out on social media, with fellow rapper 50 Cent posting a photo of himself smiling and mocking Combs' good fortune. He wrote alongside the pic, "Diddy beat the feds, that boy a bad man, beat the Rico," before comparing him to late mobster John Gotti. Aubrey O'Day, Combs' former protege and member of Danity Kane, also shared her candid reaction to his fate. She said while filming CNN's live coverage of the verdict on her Instagram stories,
"Oh my God.
The jury did not
guilty on Cassie, not guilty on Rico. No way that Jane is going to be guilty. Oh, this makes me physically ill. Cassie probably feels so horrible.
Coercion involved in that. It could still be that the jury finds,
Ronnie,
yes, a person
I'm gonna
was
vomit.
moved across.
Ahead of the verdict, Aubrey spoke to E! News about what justice would look like for her in relation to the case.
Justice for me in this setting, I would like to see all of the crimes that I know are true for him to serve time for all of those, personally. Professionally, I would like the prosecution to have done such an incredible job that nobody had any questions right now, and a lot of people have questions. At this point, if I'm going to blend those two worlds together, I would like to see a world in which they really connected the dots. I'd like to see them really bring home the charges that they indicted him for, because it's a dangerous game to play at a federal level against a billionaire mogul. There's cause for concern when you watch the trial, the very first part of it all play out, and there's still questions for people. I don't have any questions, but the prosecution needs to have done a good enough job to make sure that the jury doesn't.
Also speaking out was an attorney for Cassie Ventura, who dated Combs on and off from 2007 until 2018 and testified during the trial about the alleged abuse she was subject to during their relationship. Her lawyer said in a statement to E! News, "This entire criminal process started when our client, Cassie Ventura, had the courage to file her civil complaint in November 2023. Although the jury did not find Combs guilty of sex trafficking Cassie beyond a reasonable doubt, she paved the way for a jury to find him guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution." Her attorney added, "We must repeat with no reservation."
When the verdict finally arrives, it doesn't bring closure, it brings confusion. Diddy is convicted on prostitution-related charges but acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering. The split decision fractures public opinion instantly. 50 Cent mocks the outcome, comparing Diddy to John Gotti and suggesting influence over justice. Aubrey O'Day reacts in real time, visibly shaken, saying the verdict makes her physically ill and questioning how coercion was overlooked. Attorneys remind the public that while acquittals occurred, serious convictions remain. But the most important shift happens outside the courtroom. 50 hints at unreleased evidence, recordings, and future projects, documentaries, exposés, and testimonies yet to surface. The message is unmistakable. The trial may be ongoing, but the reckoning has only begun. This isn't the end of the story. It's the escalation.